Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Stable Condition.
Yeah.
Speak up, Trixie.
I was talking, you jerk. Sorry, what was it? Did we just spend like the last 28 to 30 minutes getting all those laughs out of our system?
Yeah.
We're good. I promise we're good.
Yeah, just be fair, it was 30 minutes and 8 seconds.
Really? Jesus. Just so you know, by the time we get to like episode 4, we're going to break that record. Because I can already tell the most difficult part of this podcast is going to be starting it.
You have no idea.
Oh, it's going to be a fun ride.
The curse of the Rye Rough Bronies has followed us to this.
I feel infected already.
As you should.
Thank you.
But this is our first episode. Our episode 0 actually turned out a lot better than we expected.
Yeah, it was a great start, and thank you to everybody who took a listen to it.
You guys are friggin' awesome.
I know, and dude, it got on EQD. I'm so happy.
Except for you, Bob. Not you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a stern email tomorrow.
Good. But, yeah, we decided to post this 2 weeks after the finale, because episode 0 falls well within the first week of the hiatus. Right. And plus, we needed that time to get season 5's finale out of our systems.
Let me just go ahead and say, I know it is way in the future for us to tackle, but man, I cannot wait to get to that one.
Can't wait to get to season 5, dude.
Oh my god, dude! I'm gonna go ahead and come straight out and say season 5 is by far my favorite so far. And what's funny about that is, as soon as season 5 was beginning, like the night before, I remember I said, good luck topping season 4, and here I am eating all of my words in a big chips and dip. Why not?
Sounds pretty delicious, actually.
Well, we just had some really tasty chips and dip, but anyways.
Yeah, I wasn't invited.
You're like miles away.
Don't worry, you were with us in spirit.
Yeah, I was. You can't get rid of me that easily. But, yeah, I know you guys are saying season 5 is your favorite. Season 2 is still my favorite.
Okay.
Nostalgia and all that. But season 5 is a very close second.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me.
It's leagues upon leagues better than season 3. Oh. Am I right?
Oi! Them's fighting words.
I think they made a game about that.
What, me getting angry at you?
No, them's fighting words, something like that.
Hang on, let's spend the next 45 minutes trying to remember what it was.
I think the audience is good not hearing that.
And the episode is over.
Well, that was a good episode, everyone.
Nice job. Nice and productive.
See you next week.
Next week. But in all seriousness, this will give everyone an idea of what our structure is going to be like. First, as always, the introduction stuff, and then we're going to review the Herculean task of the season 1 opening.
Yeah. Episodes
1 and 2. Because back then, you had to wait a week for your second episode to the season opening.
What was, okay, J-Thor here has been the oldest brony out of us. When exactly...
What? Who?
When exactly, in all seriousness, when exactly did that stop? Whenever they would start, airing parts 1 and 2 together.
I believe it was when Germany fell.
Oh, God. In all seriousness, wasn't the Crystal Empire the first one to do that?
No, it was Carolot Wedding. It was the first one to actually have both parts on the same day.
My God, can you imagine?
The season opening for season 2 was hell on all of us.
No, seriously, yeah, that's right. That Carolot Wedding was the first one like that. Can you imagine? Imagine what it would have been like. How many people would have hurled themselves off of bridges if they had to wait a week?
Well, it'd be all the better because they'd be throwing themselves off for Purple Horse, and Purple Horse is worst horse, so.
Ooh, hey.
I like Purple Horse.
I'm sorry, I got the colors confused. Yellow Horse is worst horse. Sorry about that, everyone.
Hey, I like
I'm just going to go ahead and get the Dims Fighting Herds joke out there now. Anyways.
Yeah. But each week we're going to be doing episodes as they kind of premiered, except for, the first 2 season openings, because we don't want people to throw themselves off a bridge or anything like that.
Today, in this 2.5-hour episode, we're going to review the season premiere, part 1. Join us next week when we have a 3.5-hour review of the season premiere, part 2.
We'll see you there, ladies and gentlemen.
With special guest M.A. Larson.
Malarson.
Malarson.
No, okay. Earlier we actually had a joke about that. Is God forbid he go to a convention like that, and not us. He's the one walking around tipping us the door, going Malarson, Malarson.
I would pay him so much money.
We need to get him an alicorn fedora as well.
Oh God. No, just get him that that plaid one you bought.
The blue and white plaid fedora that won't fit anyone.
We gotta show everyone a picture of that sometime. That is just...
Oh, don't worry. I can easily post that picture of you wearing it.
No, that's blackmail.
No, that's comedy right there.
That's blackmail.
Comedy.
I will sue.
Comedy gold.
Seriously though, guys, it is like the ugliest thing I've ever seen. What was it, like $12?
Yeah, something like that.
Ugh.
It's hilarious because if you throw it at him, he will run off like a cockroach about to be stepped on.
Yes, I will, because it's ugly, and I'm pretty sure there's slime all over it. Ugh. Anyways. God, we are awful with these tangents.
Yeah, it has even been 7 minutes.
Would you like... Okay, so let's try and muscle through to explain to the fine folks listening to this our structure that we are totally not making up as we go.
Well, we aren't making up as we go, because I obviously planned this for months.
We're professionals.
I've been podcasting for over 5 years. Yeah, professional.
And in those 5 years, you never, ever, ever once made it up as you went along.
Never. But basically, we're going to have introductions, how we're doing stuff. Then we're going to have the episode review. Then we're going to have a topic that I like to choose for each week where we discuss something out. This one's going to be technically 2 topics. It's how you got into the brony fandom and what it means to be a brony to you.
Oh, the stories we're going to tell.
And then the final part is the conclusion where, say there's like a project or something we're really into, we will give a shout out, give a link in the description below and all that.
And I think as we go, like, I guess on certain episodes we'll throw, some other stuff here and there in between. Like, if I may have a moment of shameless plugging real quick.
I guess.
Thanks. But basically just, whenever I start releasing new pony songs again and everything, I'll probably, just bring in my guitar and play an unplugged version of it, just give you guys an idea. Say,
Is that a threat or a promise?
However you want to look at it, honey.
Alrighty then.
We're doomed.
Get your earplugs. Anyways.
Yeah,
I think we can go ahead and go into the episode review, which you two took notes for. I just use my memory of how it was back then and how I watch it now and all that.
Well, right off the bat, we noticed quite a few things about it.
Yeah, like that beginning scene with Moon Dancer. That was never going to turn into anything. Am I right?
rude.
Yeah.
Because she died.
Twilight's so rude, like, why would you ignore Moon Dancer like that? I really hope that doesn't bite her in the butt later.
Oh, because Moon Dancer is we're
That's
trying to keep it family friendly. Dang it.
It's like, oh, well, I guess we'll never see that pony again.
Because she's dead.
The end.
Spoilers, dude. What the...
Hey, don't blame me. Blame Emmett Larson.
Yeah, that's true.
But one thing you can really notice with, especially in the first episode, is all the voice actors trying to find the right spots where they can really get into these characters. You can tell it truly is a pilot.
It is, but and that's a good point. Like, it's a pilot. In their defense, do you really? And just for any show, really,
I know. I'm not expecting anything. I'm just saying it's very obvious from, especially when you start watching it from the beginning. And I don't know if other people are like this, but Ashley Ball's Applejack just naturally evolved into that kind of deeper Southerner voice.
Yeah,
and I didn't even notice it until I went back to rewatch.
Same.
And I was like, oh yeah, this voice is really annoying.
It's significantly more realistic, but going back on it, I'm probably the only one out of us who thinks that the old voice, while incredibly noticeable, is still kind of cute.
Well, you would think that.
Oh, come on. I thought it was cute. But, yeah, it's like...
But, like, there's also a part, it's whenever, in the second episode, whenever Rainbow Dash is accusing Twilight of being a spy, you can really tell that they are voiced by one and the same person, Applejack and Rainbow Dash.
And what's funny is, for someone who's just now getting into this show, and as you kind of grow into it, know more about the voice actors, who plays who, and like, oh, this person also plays this pony, like these two ponies. Sometimes if you close your eyes and listen, you can hear one pony speaking, like, oh my god, I can totally hear the other.
Yeah.
It's actually really funny. But, yeah, it's one of those things where, it's not even just the voice actors. It really gives off, this episode really gives off that vibe that not just the voice actors, but, like, just the production team as a whole is, like, this is an episode where they're really, still trying to find themselves and everything. And that's a good thing. I don't mean that in a bad way at all, because this episode has a nice charm to it. It's really fun to go back and watch, even though this time it's like, we noticed quite a few hiccups.
Oh, man, it was hilarious.
Yeah, and also, did you guys notice the hourglass?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you positive?
Did you see it?
I gotta tell them that story real quick.
I was just about to say.
Because I know we have quite a few new listeners who never listen to Roddy Rough Bronies. Consider yourselves lucky.
You get
that
the first
that
one.
podcast was hell.
You get the first story of the night.
But my buddy Brunson, he's my former co-host along with Dallas. Me and Dallas got into the show roughly around the same time. I was the one that forced him into the show. And then Brunson started getting into it after watching some episodes with Rainbow Dash. And so he was like, you know what, guys, I'm ready to start watching from the beginning. So we watched it with him. And our buddy Lumpy was in town as well, who got me into My Little Pony. So it gets to that part where Twilight's walking past the hourglass, and the three of us know what's in the hourglass. Brunson has no clue. We pause like, did you see it? He's like, what? Did you see it? It's like, no, I didn't see anything. We're like, come on, we gotta rewind it. This goes on for over 30 minutes.
It went on for half an hour?
Yes.
You didn't tell me that part.
And finally, the last time we play, he's like, are you talking about the... I'm sorry, I gotta curse here for this one because it's Brunson's exact words. Are you talking about the fucking horse right there? And I was like, yes. He's like, yes, I knew about that. I thought you were talking about something else. So we wasted over 30 minutes of his life, and it was beautiful.
Wasted or enhanced?
It enhanced my life.
You know what it reminds me of? Just to go on a really super quick tangent, that South Park episode with, do you see it? Now, do you see?
I'm so bored.
Exactly. I believe the episode's called Cartman's Incredible Gift. Go look it up.
Yes, it is.
Anyways.
But you're talking about how Twilight's incredibly rude.
Oh, yeah.
And that honestly makes a lot of sense for at this point in time. Like, they did that absolutely perfectly.
Oh,
she doesn't really know the joys of having a friend yet. She's only really had Spike and Shining Armor.
I know, she's really snooty, and at first a lot of people are going to be like turned away from that. I was like, oh, I don't like this character, but to me, it's a great starting point for something to just, grow. And
well, it's also a great starting point for someone that's introverted like she was.
Exactly. I mean, granted, we might have a little bit of bias looking back on this because, we've seen what has happened 5 years later. But, just from the beginning, like, if one of the things I want to do with these episode reviews is at some point try and sum up your entire thoughts about the episode in 7 words or less. And for this one, I wrote, oh, such humble and fun beginnings.
Not enough rarity.
Not enough rarity. I'm leaving the fandom.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys want a sandwich? But they had to obviously compact a lot into these 2 episodes to build up the world and everything.
Right.
And
you have to introduce and at least somewhat flesh out 6 characters in a combined 44 minutes.
Well, even technically 7 because you got to include Spike.
True. That's hard to do. And you know what? While obviously you're not going to get everything about the character, you still got a nice taste to come back to it. It's like, okay, you know what?
Well, Also, I think the writers of the show figured that out, and that's why Ticketmaster, the next episode, shows them all off again to help reinstate what the beginning brought.
I know we're not on that episode yet, but like I think that is like as far as the first slice of life episode this show tackled after this really fun introduction to it. Honestly, in my opinion, you couldn't have picked a better episode to start off with because Ticketmaster set like it takes the flow of the first two and then just bounces off of that gorgeously. That's me,
But so in this episode, we learned about the backstory of about Nightmare Moon and Celestia, which I think it's kind of friggin' stupid that none of the ponies figured this out, and how none of the ponies knew about the elements of harmony. Not even Twilight really knew about them.
Twilight not knowing that they were sisters, even though she literally just read
saying
that they were...
That too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sis, what?
And I love how it seems like everything...
Dios.
It seems that like every major thing they go through has a picture book telling them exactly what this villain is all about.
The only thing that's missing is the only thing that would have made it absolutely perfect if it was a pop-up book. Oh wow! Wow! If you pull this tab, you can make the sun run. You can make the sun rise when the moon sets. That would be perfect.
But for an introduction to Nightmare Moon, and when I won't lie, when I first saw this, I didn't like Nightmare Moon at all. I didn't like her design. It wasn't until really season 5 where I liked her design.
Oh well, I mean, that's a 5-year gap of changes in design. Is that really fair?
All they really did was add some fangs to her.
Not only that, but like it's also just 5 years of you watching the show.
And the animation greatly improving.
Right.
Well, it's not even just that. Just Nightmare Moon is very standard villain. We get much better villains that go onward.
Sure.
And a lot of other people will agree with me, and no, Starlight is not best villain.
She is to me.
I know she is to you. You would think that.
Yeah.
But Nightmare Moon, her plan, very catastrophic to the entire ecosystem. Everyone would die.
The night will last forever. Cool. I don't gotta go to school tomorrow.
2 weeks later, there's no food. They can't grow anything. Like, well then.
I probably should have. No, she's just sitting there. She's sitting there.
She's like, huh.
I probably should have thought about this.
I think we'd need this, son.
A lot of the ponies are like face down, dead in the fields. Oh. Well, I guess I can rule over this pebble.
But yeah, when she goes to Twilight goes to Ponyville. Did you guys notice how fucking annoyed she was?
Yeah. She's like, oh, really? I have to make friends here.
Yeah. And...
It's not phase, Mom.
I love how, like, obviously paraphrasing, but the letter Celestia sends Twilight is, you know I value your word and everything, but for the love of God, go outside. Talk to people.
Go out and get some vitamin D. I don't need vitamin D, Sunny, Mom. I got Sunny. Or whatever that drink is. I can't remember.
Go to the village of Ponyville and make friends with the least popular girls in school.
We gotta watch. For those who don't know what he's referring to, it is an absolute godsend of a video called Cartoon Horse Program. Oh, God, it's one of my favorites.
Oh, gosh, that is a really good video.
Well, hold on. What was it? It's Fluttershy, the Beastmaster, Pinkie Pie, the Shapeshifter, Rainbow Dash, the Lord of the Darkness, Applejack, yeehaw, and Rarity, who's also in the show.
She's doing pony tax.
Doesn't it actually say pony taxes on it? Okay, seriously, Jather, can we pretty please provide a link to that to those who need to be educated?
I just need to be reminded.
Okay. No, seriously though, like I think, like to anyone who is, to those that are listening to this, I heavily implore you, go watch these first 2 episodes, and immediately afterwards, go watch Cartoon Horse Program. The very next thing you do, it is the greatest thing ever.
But as she gets to Ponyville, she meets all the other 5. And I have to say, AJ got the most screen time out of all of them.
Yep.
I honestly think back then they were really trying to push AJ, because Ticketmaster starts with AJ, and then the next episode after that is an AJ episode.
Oh, wow, I didn't even notice that.
I've got no complaints.
But going through the entire Apple family, which wasn't truly the entire Apple family.
No, that's probably 1/20th.
Yeah. There's a lot more. They didn't even show Apple Orchard, best Apple family member.
Oh, how dare they?
I know. But also, did you notice that some of the places with the pilot's design of them, they've changed so drastically?
Do you have some examples in mind?
Like Sweet Apple Acres, how you see the hen house right there next to the giant barn, and then the giant carrot factory, whatever it's called, over to the left of it. Like, they show a lot more of Sweet Apple Acres than every time they show the barn, the hen house is nowhere near to be seen.
Oh, wow.
Well, in its defense, that barn goes down and up again at least 5 times. So I'm pretty sure some renovations have to be made after, like, the 3rd time the barn goes down.
Poor AJ.
Hey, she has a catchy song to rebuild her house.
It sure does.
But she shouldn't need a song to rebuild her house.
Can you imagine if she had to come up with a different song every single time that barn went down?
Oh, God.
Where do you think Hey Ocean came from?
Hey.
But, like, it was that one, and then the Castle of the Two Sisters is completely different from what we see later on.
Oh,
the
definitely.
Castle of the Two Sisters in this is like one room with the roof blown up.
Yeah.
Well, technically 2 rooms, but...
All right. That's the one when they get teleported into.
Yeah.
Oh, Twilight gets teleported. I'm pretty sure the others had to walk.
They ran.
So those 2 rooms and a staircase. That's about it.
Basically. But again, we never thought we'd see that location again.
So, what?
Hint, hint, we do.
Oh, spoilers, dude!
Good.
Oh!
But, I have to say, everyone gasping whenever Mare announces Celestia and all that. And then, oh gosh, she's not there. And then it made me laugh so hard tonight for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm sleep deprived.
Well, there's that, and also, like, I might have...
Tired.
This might be a little forced, but whenever I saw that, I was, like, for some reason my mind immediately thought of The Sound of Music with the Von Trapp family and Rarity coming out. They're gone! They're gone! Exactly. Oh, man, we need to... Okay, for this, since we're on the subject of that celebration as well as Twilight's party in Golden Oak Library...
Oh.
Wow, that background crowd. Like, I can't...
They didn't really put too much work in the background crowd.
Of all the times I've watched this episode, I cannot believe I didn't notice this stuff.
There's like 5 minuets, 17 lyras.
And they're like, they aren't even talking. They're just kind of like...
They're standing there creepily. Like, they're just standing there.
They're standing...
What do you expect of the Changeling Army?
They're standing there, staring off...
I'm terribly sorry. That was very insensitive to all those Kevins out there.
They're just standing there.
Menacingly. And occasionally not menacingly. Oh, but like, we're watching this, is like, do something, please.
So weird.
But it's, yeah, like, I saw, like, 5 lyras on screen. There was 1 lyra, like, it was literally, I think it was, like, lyra, 1 other pony, and another lyra immediately next to that. It was like, wow.
Speaking of the crowds, when Nightmare Moon comes in, like, that room changes its population constantly throughout that episode.
Like, every time the camera pans to the crowd and then to Nightmare Moon, it comes back and, like, half the crowd is gone. It's like, did they just all go to the bathroom as the bad guy reveals herself?
Can you blame them?
Wow. Dude, I got pee. Do you want to go pee?
Yeah, me too, bro.
Okay, we'll go together.
Always remember to use the buddy system.
Oh, God.
How toyetic can you get?
But still, it's just really...
I'm sorry if no one gets those 2 references. Those are both from Freakazoid. Very wonderful show. Sorry, go on.
10 years.
It was a gem. It really was. But yeah, it's really weird seeing these drastic changes like that. Nightmare Moon, and also I'm pretty sure at least 1,000 other people have called this out already. But it's kind of funny seeing the Cutie Mark Crusaders huddled up together before they're introduced as characters in the show. You know what I mean?
Well, Apple Bloom was already introduced as a character.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
With the other two is like, oh, hey, you guys want to have your Cutie Mark? I don't either. Let's be friends.
Well, yeah, I mean, that doesn't come...
Even though we held each other closely as we thought we were about to die.
Well,
we probably should have gotten each other's names back then.
Well, what's funny is he actually pointed this out to me as we were watching it.
Yeah.
Trixie pointed this out to me that that even whenever they... Like, obviously Apple Bloom has speaking lines, but Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle... Madeline Peters and Claire Corlett are still credited in the credits as voice actors, despite the fact they say nothing.
I think they were part of the gasping.
Oh, great.
That's voice acting for... Pay me money now, please.
That's how voice actors get money. They go up to a director like, money.
And the actor... And
oh, darn it. Here you go.
All right, well, here's a blank check. Write whatever number you want.
Jason, you're coughing. Here's $10.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some pretty solid acting, good sir.
But, did you guys have any notes about the first episode you wanted to go over, since you both were nerds and wrote these down?
Oh,
well, we went through quite a bit of them already.
Yeah. Oh, for those, like, these are just little things I jotted down. Whenever Rainbow Dash, like, I actually timed it, but when Rainbow Dash says, you know, I can clear this guy in 10 seconds flat and bust the clouds, I stopwatched it. It really is 10 seconds, like, on the dot.
Wow, Clay, we've already all known that.
Okay, well,
it took you 5 years.
Oh my god.
Hey, episode 1, there's one person listening to this like, wow. No.
Oh my god.
No, even better. Instead of that, there's one person listening to this like, no way. Mom! Get the stopwatch!
You know, you shouldn't say that about Nevalin.
Oh.
We love you, Nevalin.
Nevalins are the one who drew the picture that you'll see on the YouTube feed.
I am going to, like, when he first hears this episode, like, the following night, he's gonna give me an angry message on Skype. I heard y'all was talking about me. We do it out of love, Nevalin.
Well, guess what? You're down 1 subscriber.
Huh. But seriously, guys, go check out his art. He's very talented and he's super cool.
Since we've already pretty much taken care of episode 1, we might as well move on to episode 2 in its entirety, about how stupid it was for Nightmare Moon to be like, oh, I'm just going to put in these minor obstacles.
I could kill these guys right now, but I won't.
I'm going to possess some trees.
But it's a kid show.
I'll possess the trees, give them scary faces, and nothing else.
I'll go Lord of the Rings on their asses.
That's the thing I love. As all the different faces were popping up, I just kept going, bleh, bleh, bleh.
Bleh. I have to say, the only one out of those 5 little trials I actually really liked was Fluttershy's.
Really?
That one really showed the most courage, or not courage. Sorry, I watched a certain scene that Dallas absolutely loved. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's about turkeys.
Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. No, not that one.
Oh, boy.
But hers was actually about kindness. Applejack, instead of just being like, your friends will save you, it's like, just trust me. Do you trust me? No, I don't.
Long live the king!
Have you guys seen the picture of Lion Applejack with Celestia?
Yes, I have.
Didn't I send that to you?
I was so sad that it took them that long to do that.
But
I remember that picture. It's actually, they spelled queen wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Didn't they spell it like Quenn or something?
And then I found it later on. They fixed it. I was like, dang it.
Hey,
long live the Quinn.
I still have, even if they did, I still have the incorrect one saved onto my computer, so we can relish in its greatness some more.
Yeah.
But still, that's funny.
Pinkies was the absolute stupidest, in my opinion.
The song is great, but like it is kind of.
Isn't it kind of supposed to be though?
No.
No.
This episode has to be the way I want it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But, you know, it's...
more rarity, please.
Speaking of that song, you guys heard the Japanese version of it?
Oh, I love the Japanese version. There was a time when I was so hooked to it.
Actually, trust me, I actually have all the Japanese episodes on my computer, and the voice of Discord in Japanese is absolutely bloody brilliant.
I haven't
Isn't
heard
it the same one as Buggy from
One Piece? Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
It's great. It rivals John Delancey, in my opinion.
The only thing of the Japanese versions I've heard are some of the songs. Like, I've heard Giggle at the Ghosties, which I love who they got for Pinkie Pie. I've heard At the Gala, Winter Wrap-Up, and that's it, actually.
I don't think they did Winter Wrap-Up.
Winter Wrap-Up was just the English version.
No, you're right. It was Smile. I heard Smile in Japanese.
I was so disappointed. Because I was like...
Everyone was.
It's the Japanese version of the song. I don't know if I can take it. Versus play.
3 months of winter.
Aww.
It's like, dumb. I can't read those subtitles.
Can you imagine how many Japanese kids were just like, Nani kure?
Oh, Nani? That is so not kawaii to sue.
Oh my god. But if you have a chance to check out the Japanese version, definitely do it. I think they said recently that they were doing season 3 and beyond in Japanese now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they stopped for a while for some reason.
I think because the popularity wasn't as high in Japan. Just because most Japanese bronies I know just download the English version.
True. Well, I mean, we got 5 seasons. They got 2, so...
Yeah.
But, I mean... the presentation of Pinkie's part was a little silly. You know, they're all trees going, bleh.
Oh, run! Well, we're not running because it's not...
Pinkie, why aren't you running?
Because you're not.
Because all I got to do is outrun you. But, like, when you look at it, when you look at it deeply, it is a very good message with that. Is sometimes the best way to, you know, stand up to your fear is just find a way to take away what makes it scary. Laugh at it.
That's what I do with you all the time.
Give it a top hat.
What? Oh, yeah. Hey, man, I don't care if a spider's got a top hat. I'm still going to run away like a little girl.
Yeah. But also, we had the first appearance of Stephen Magnet.
Yes.
Oh, he's great.
Okay, we gotta talk about the Rapids, though.
Oh, that's right.
Like how he's throwing his big hissy fit. The Rapids are, you know, they're very, very aggressive and dangerous and, you know, and everything. But whenever he's calmed down and everything, suddenly the water is like an inch. It's an inch deep, and they just walk along. It's like, huh.
You know what's causing those rapids, right?
No, I'm not talking about, like...
No, let me just explain it to you. It's fear farts.
Oh, my God.
Fear farts, indeed.
No, don't fear fart.
That's just what they want. But, yeah, it's like... It's... Excuse you. It's implied that, like, with most of his lower body is like, down in the rapids as he's throwing his temper tantrum. Then whenever he's calmed down, the main six get on the water, and it's like an inch deep. And it's like, huh. There are just like a little minor inconsistencies with that, like Rainbow Dash on the bridge. We talked about that. Like she goes across, gets confronted by the shadow bolts as she's halfway done setting up the bridge, and then it pans back to the bridge as you know, like the shadow bolts are cutting her off from her friends with the mist. As it does that, the bridge
real quick.
Yeah.
I have to do this every time we mention mist. The mist. If you haven't seen Fanboy and Chum Chum, go watch Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Oh, that's right.
Never seen it.
Never seen it either. But,
so good.
Go on.
And, yeah, anyway, so, like, it cuts them off. She's separated from her friends. And when that happens, the bridge is fixed. Then it cuts back to her confrontation. She says, no, I'm going to reject your offer. Goes back. The bridge is broken again. Then she fixes it.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Oh, no, it's not it doesn't, like, kill the scene for me. It's just funny.
Some bronies have said that whenever Twilight jumped into the water, she landed on a rock that was there. Because you clearly see Stephen Magnet dive in.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would have been dead.
True.
Allow me. Well then.
And Cranky Doodle Dandy lost a friend that day.
Oh.
It's like what's his face from Scrubs. You see Cranky's head pop up. something awful just happened. He's on the other side of Equestria looking for Matilda. Uh-oh, something terrible just happened.
But, yeah, each of the trials thing was pretty stupid, but it had to be that way for a kid's show opening, of course. Right. I'm pretty sure if M.A. Larson would have gotten a hold of it, it would have been much worse. Oh. Everyone would have died or become alicorns.
You know, but even with them being that silly, they still had a nice charm to it, at least to me. Like, they do exemplify the elements, you know, nicely. Right. Even though stuff like Rainbow Dash brings up a good point of, oh, don't worry, you know, my tail will grow back. So would the mustache.
Rarity said that.
No. Rainbow Dash said, so would the mustache.
But you also said when the tail would grow back. Yeah. Rarity said that.
I did mean that for Rarity.
No, you didn't.
Uh-huh.
But,
that's it. We're ending the episode right now.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 1, also the finale of Stable Condition. See you all next time.
We had a good run, guys.
But, yeah, when they actually do get to the castle and see the elements of harmony and all that jazz and stuff, one thing I did notice is there's actually a little more combat-oriented with the ponies in episode 2. Did you guys really notice that?
Wait, Rarity kicks the Manicore?
Yeah, she's the one that...
I'm talking about whenever they're stomping their hooves on the ground, like even Twilight snorts as she blows out. I was just like, shit, we don't see that anywhere else, really.
It's just kind of funny, because like, I honestly have to agree with Nightmare Moon on this, like, you're kidding, right? I was kind of like, what exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, that was the thing. Like, it clearly shows that ponies back in the day, when they didn't have magic, they would just run at each other and try to stab each other with horns.
Get them!
But,
they make a good fan comic.
Though I do have to say, one nice thing they did with this show that so many other kids shows would have done is,
you mean something they don't do, or?
Yeah, something they don't do. Sorry. Yeah. Sleep deprivation. Basically, a kid's show would use the elements of generosity and kindness and all that to be the sole part of their character, where they're always imbuing that.
Right.
With My Little Pony, they actually have personality.
Yeah, and that's...
So much so that the joke back in the day was that Applejack was loyalty and Rainbow Dash was honesty.
Yeah, I remember that, actually. And, you know, that's not... I suppose that's not entirely wrong, but it's just kind of funny whenever people start trying to call out them immediately after they go against their element. And it's like, the element of honesty, everybody. And it's just stuff like that. It's funny, but... You're right. I mean, the fact that it is a fault sometimes, and they aren't always perfect to their element, it does give them a character. It gives them a personality that's believable.
That's why I'm going to plug Silverquill here, because he's the only My Little Pony reviewer I watch. All the other ones want to bring up drama. But he brings up a very good point, because I started watching his After the Fact videos again, because I hadn't seen him in a long time. He talks about how much he loves the character flaws, because that makes a true character right there. And all these characters have their flaws and their strengths. Right. That's what I love about the show.
Agreed.
And, like, if AJ was always honest, she'd be really boring really quick.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, I can agree with that.
And Rainbow Dash is just annoying, so there's nothing more you could do to damage her character.
Oi!
But
why do you think Party of One was such a popular episode with Pinkie Pie fans? Because
we're not at that episode yet.
So,
Clayton, spoilers. Oh my God, man!
You're right.
How could you? You're off the podcast.
Oh, auditions for Do the Daring Doer. No.
But when they get to the whole point of whenever the elements are shattered, then Twilight gets the sudden spark of realization that, oh, the power was within us the entire time. Let's summon Captain Planet or some BS like that. But I do have to say this also. They used a lot of weird facial animations in this that they haven't used anywhere else. Did you guys notice that?
I did notice that, like, whenever Twilight met Rarity for the first time.
Yeah.
That
Clayton, get off your laptop.
That her eyes were like bulging out of her head for a second. It was really weird.
Or like whenever AJ gets the Element of Honesty necklace around her.
Oh.
Her face for that too. Like there's a lot of stuff that just I guess the animator's like, we don't need this anymore.
Her face for when she says soup song.
I thought that was cute.
No, I don't think she ever uses that face again.
Well, I'm not saying she uses it. I just thought it was cute.
I'm trying to talk about that.
And then also, one thing I've noticed going past season 1, 2, they don't use the same running animation they used to use as much anymore.
They do or they don't?
They don't. Like where their mains are moving a little bit and they're just going at full speed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of glad because that animation was always really weird to me for some reason. It was probably because of how the hair was moving. I
suppose. But again, like, I know I fall back on this a lot, but it's just all these little things that we talk about like this with this first episode. Even if they are weird or awkward or whatever, I still think they just have a nice charm to it.
It's something unique only to the first 2 episodes.
And after all, like, they are still trying to decide what they want to do with it. So
of course. And not only that, whenever Luna becomes Luna again, everyone's like, oh gosh, she has a sister. Whoever saw this coming?
Wait, sister? Oh, hey, tell them about the what I call here flutter slide.
Whoa, guys, hold on. I gotta watch my Spanish shows real quick.
Viva!
Exactly. Thank you, Trixie.
But yeah, there was this one weird part, like right after Celestia comes out and everyone starts bowing. There's a Fluttershy slides like awkwardly,
it's an animation hiccup. Yeah. Like she slides forward like 3 feet.
And then proceeds to bow, and it's like, what the heck did she do?
It was funny.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug, my friends.
Yes, it is. Just ask Freddy.
But those are powdered donuts. Thank you very much, and they make me go very nuts. But did you notice the Star Wars-esque music at the very end?
I don't really watch Star Wars. So.
Have you ever seen Return of the Jedi?
Like, when it came out.
I'll admit it's been a while for me too.
It reminds me exactly. I can't remember if it's the ending theme to Return of the Jedi or A New Hope, but it just sounds exactly like that to me. And I always thought it was weird. Those 2 little baby Pegasi just go around Luna's neck and put the roses around it. I was just like, what the hell?
I totally forgot about that.
You just watched it.
I know, but it was a small detail I must have looked over.
Every time I've seen that throughout my 5 years of watching My Little Pony, I've just always been like, why?
This is funny.
What are those 2 ponies' backstories? Why haven't we seen them again?
They traipsing around. You terrorized us for 1 episode. We like you.
And then and then back during the day, this was the official Luna design that we all knew, and that's why, if you're new to the fandom and you go back and look at old artwork, you'll see why Luna looks so different.
Yeah.
It's because we all thought that that's how she was supposed to look.
And I'll admit, it's kind of cute. I like her in her, the form we all are used to in, like, Season 2 and beyond, but I like this Season 1 look.
Well, a lot of people have speculated that she grew quite a bit from her time back on Earth, Pony Earth, wherever you want to call it.
Pony Earth, I love it.
Well, if Weird Al can say, I fear I told a little fib about my pony past, I can friggin' call Earth Pony Earth.
Well, Weird Al also said that Hawaii is canon, so...
If we're going off of that logic, all you gotta do is just put pony in front of any noun you can think of, and it makes logical sense. Like, remember in that episode of South Park? I ain't going to space jail.
Yeah.
I ain't going to pony jail.
Go Space Broncos.
Go Space Broncos.
You wouldn't know about that, Clayton.
That's still funny.
But, Yeah, it was a nice ending to it, and honestly, if the show wouldn't have gotten picked up, that would have been a nice ending to the show.
And honestly, I think that's a large part of why I like this episode so much, is because as an introduction to this show, it's really good, but on its own, I think it's great. Because, it has a beginning, an end, and it just has a feel of a movie. At least to me, it feels like a full story, and the way it ends is satisfying, and you could have just cut it at that and moved on. I mean, Obviously, I'm very, very, very happy they kept going. But had they not, I would have walked away from that yeah, that was pretty enjoyable.
Don't listen to him, he's lying. He's heartbroken, it's still going.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's the thing. If it was by itself, really good. As a season opener, in my opinion, it's the absolute weakest.
Second to weakest for me.
What's your weakest?
I'm not going to make a lot of friends with this, I know, but Return of Harmony.
Which one was that again?
Discord.
Oh.
It was still very, very, very good. I just like the other ones more. I take that back. Crystal Empire, second to last.
Yeah. Actually, Crystal Empire is a very close second to last for me, too.
But yeah, it's just...
Oh, we'll get on to that in...
Time is right.
Yeah, don't send us hate mail quite yet.
You can send Clayton hate mail. I'm all for that. And if you send me hate mail, I'll redirect it to him.
Thank you. Nice to know I'm loved.
But, yeah, Trixie, what did you think about the season opening and all that? Since you barely talked.
What are you talking about?
What we've been talking about for the last 47 minutes.
It's only been me and Clayton talking.
Are you fucking serious right now? See? I can't help myself.
The salt's real with this one.
No, it was really good. I kind of...
Whoa, Trixie, you're talking way too much.
I kind of just want to go to our next, topic so I can talk about, how the very first time seeing this episode. Well, for all of us, really.
Okay, so Trixie absolutely hated the episode.
Yep.
So,
left the fandom before he gave it a chance.
Good night, everybody. Okay, so...
But yeah, so... Whoops.
So, all in all, we can all agree that it was a good season opening. By itself, it definitely is a lot better. But as season opening, it's still good.
There's some obvious hiccups and some bumps in the road, but yeah, I can go back, watch this a lot, and enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
also a lot of
still
folk at it as well.
Yeah, it's somewhere nearly as bad as season 3. Am I right?
Yeah.
But
high five.
anyways, yeah. We'll go ahead and move on to the first topic of how you became a brony.
Oh man, this is gonna be a long one for all of us.
I became a brony there.
I like the show.
That wasn't long at all. You lied to everyone. They want their refund.
The refund of 50 minutes.
True, but there's a lot of stories we can tell. And probably we're going to tell a lot of stories that the three of us have already heard.
Right.
But all these other people are going to... You guys are going to enjoy this stuff. So where in God's name do we even begin?
The beginning.
If I hate that so much.
We have to go back to the future.
Whoa!
Still hasn't seen it.
Whoa!
You know what?
We'll tell that story sometime.
Yeah, but on that note, real quick, no one's going to know what I'm talking about except you two. When I went to Colorado a few weeks ago, the same thing happened. My phone never set to Colorado time.
Whoa!
It was so infuriating.
It was beautiful.
Anyway.
Real quick, who has their thoughts together the most and would like to go first?
Oh, such a broad.
Trixie sounded like he was ready.
So
let's put Trixie on the spot.
All right, I can go first, I guess. Well, it started with
And your turn is over.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's pretty much it. See you later.
That was inspirational.
In all seriousness, go ahead.
Yeah. When I first heard about bronies, I was like, I guess that's a little strange, but whatever. To each their own. And my friend was the one who she told me she was a Pegasus sister, and I was like, well, what the heck is that?
Well, that's just silly.
Yeah. And then she proceeded to tell me that, oh, it's just a female brony. I was like, oh, well, good for you. If you like that show, whatever.
Then why don't they call them phonies?
And she was like, oh, you should totally give it a watch. I was like, I don't know about that. Man, this show looks a little, probably not. But what was like a big nail on the coffin was around this time I was getting into the show Death Battle on Screw Attack.
Oh yeah.
And I was binge watching that, and it came to the episode where it was Rainbow Dash versus Starscream. Yeah, Starscream. And I knew nothing about either side. Like, I don't watch Transformers, and at the time I was like, oh god, it's My Little Pony.
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry.
It literally is Hasbro versus Hasbro.
And
Optimus Prime died for your sins.
and by the end of the, when this fight was starting, I was actually rooting for Rainbow Dash. And, I guess spoilers, but Rainbow Dash ends up winning.
Oh!
Spoilers to a 5-year-old show, man.
No!
Come on.
And I told my friend about that, and she was like, you should really give it a watch. I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll watch it, whatever.
I'll do it just
guess.
for you.
I guess I'll do it. So I remember I was loading up the first episode, and it opens the book, and it's like, the Elements of Harmony. I wonder what that is. I'm like, oh, that sounds weird. And then the theme starts playing. I was like, oh god, what have I gotten myself into?
You quickly got reminded that you're watching My Little Pony.
Like, oh god, I turned it down like pretty much to mute, just waiting for it.
Because God forbid your brother come walking into the room. Hey, want to go do some manly things?
Yeah, sure, why not?
You want to go tie some knots? I want to go tie some knots. Let's go.
I want to go throw a rock against the fence.
God, you want to rebuild an engine? Like.
Anyway, okay, proceed.
Yeah. And I was.
For those that don't know, Trixie is a mechanic by trade.
Yes. But I was actually really surprised about the episode because I was just like, wow, this is really good. I think I like it. And I told my friend that, and she was like, so you're a brony. And I was like, I don't think so. I'm not a brony just yet. I do like the show, though. And that's pretty much the whole first episode, but what solidified it for me was I was watching more episodes, and as I got to Winter Wrap-Up, that was the episode that made me say, all right, I'm a brony. That's
such a great episode, too. That was on yesterday, actually.
Yeah, it was really the song that got me into it. Like
that may be the gayest thing I've heard all year.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, come on.
that song and that episode really mean a lot to me. So,
which is hilarious because he hates winter.
Yeah,
we both do.
But it's about wrapping up winter because they hate it too.
I was about to say it's about moving on to good.
No, only Rainbow Dash hates winter.
Yeah, I guess so.
But no, that I completely agree. I love that episode too, and that's going to be an episode I'm really going to look forward to getting to. But anyways, you were saying?
I mean, that's about it for how I became a brony. Just want to wrap up the song, and then that's when I started. That's when I started going on like Equestria Daily and going to like other websites like My Little Brony, where they make memes and all that. And let's see, hold on. I've got the date written down of when I pretty much said I was a brony. Sorry, I'm looking.
Gosh, Trixie.
I'm sorry, okay? God. November 17th, 2013. Actually, 2012, sorry. It's been 3 years for me, which is pretty awesome.
Okay. I've been here since day one, so...
Oh, you haven't.
Doesn't mean anything.
It was like day 7. Shut up.
Oh, you're one of them. All right. But yeah, like I like that story too. You told me that a couple times, and it's a humble beginning. We all have those humble beginnings, even though yours have been here since day 1. Yeah.
Day 7.
Oh, that becomes a running gag with us. Day 6.5 to be specific.
Technically, it was day 17. You plebs.
There's a 7 in there, so I was half right.
Well, for me, one of the first images of bronies I ever had, we like to go to this convention here in Dallas called A-Fest, and it was my first convention ever, and it was the A-Fest of 2011, where I'll never forget it as long as I live. Like, I had just started hearing the term brony, and I knew what it was, but I had never seen it for myself. And I remember I saw this big 6'5", 290-pound black dude holding up a giant Rainbow Dash poster, going, "Yeah, yeah." I remember what?
That's Scootaloo, wasn't it?
No. Oh God, probably not. It's like, what in God's name is going on? It was really, and that's the funny thing is, after that, it's one of those things where once you hear about something and acknowledge its existence, you start becoming more aware of it as you just go about your life. Like, it's like, oh, I see it here. Turns into, why do I keep seeing it here? Why do I keep seeing it? And I got a story about that later on.
The funny thing is, he was probably at my meetup that year.
I would have laughed so hard if he was. But technically the first pony video I ever saw was Epic Pie Time, because I grew up being a big Epic Mealtime fan. I love those guys. And so I saw this pony parody of it. And thinking about it, this was a little before I saw this dude. I saw it, thought the video was absolutely hilarious, sent it to some of my friends. And then I saw a reaction video to it. It says, BronyCon reacts to Epic Pie Time. And I'm watching it. It's like, first off, wow, this is a really big auditorium. There's a lot of people watching this one silly video. And I hear the laughs. I was like, those sound like grown men. What? Huh? Those sound
in some capacity they are.
They sound like...
Physically.
They sound like grown men. It's like, they just called that... And I heard one of them... For those who have seen Epic Pie Time, it's the scene where Rarity comes out at the end and just dives face first into the pie and starts eating it. I heard one of them go, "Oh, poor Rarity." It's like, he just called that pony by name. He knows who she is. It just kept confusing me.
I don't understand.
What is this? And then fast forward a month and a half later to my friend's Halloween party, we saw Shed.mov, and we're like, what in God's name is this?
Jesus.
Again, by this point, I'm kind of aware that this is a show. And so what's funny is, for some reason, the animation of Shed, I really like just the way the animation is done. So I went back and watched the other Hot Diggity Demon MOVs of it, and I was like, I like this. Then I stumbled across a clip from the actual show, which, looking back on it, the first thing I ever saw from the show itself was Guile's theme works with everything for the Sonic Rain Boom.
Well, of course, it does work with everything.
It definitely.
I have stories where that single song has helped the Cowboys win a game before. I'm not even joking. Brunson played it when they were losing. That's when they picked back up and they won.
Didn't you say the same thing with the Rangers once at a baseball game?
Yeah. It also it helps Brunson with video games too. He just puts it on, he suddenly becomes a badass.
That's beautiful. But so yeah, that happened. And that was my first taste to see the animation of the show. I really liked it. Then I stumbled across that Death Battle video.
Yeah.
And I was pulling for Rainbow Dash 2. I was like, yes, this is awesome. And then a period of time passed for, the curiosity kept getting the better of me. I stumbled across a brony in a chat room and everything. I was like, you really like this show, don't you? Because my first opinion, my initial opinion of bronies wasn't they're all man-child and they're all idiots and stuff like that. My initial opinion was it was all just a big joke that everybody was in on. They were just trying to be, attention grabbers and everything. It's like,
that's it.
They're just trying to get attention.
Yeah. That's definitely how it went back in the day.
Jeez, Clayton.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, I met a few people online. I was like, you really like this show, don't you? Oh, yes, no joke. Checked it out. I told myself, okay, I'm going to check it out. And one night I was super bored. I was playing Skyrim in the back in my game room, and I had this little thing where I have with my iPad, I'll just look up random YouTube videos as I'm playing, and I had the iPad with me and I was playing Skyrim. And one night I just got super bored, jumping from roof to roof in Whiterun. Looked down at my iPad and I was like, you did say you'd give that pony show a chance. So I pulled up the first episode of YouTube and I watched it, and it started off as like, spending 2 seconds looking at the iPad, then back to 10 seconds towards the game, and that turned into 5 seconds towards the iPad, 3 seconds towards the game, and then I just paused the game altogether, watching the whole thing, and then I just turned the damn thing off, watching the entire episode, and I was like, you know what, that's pretty good, but you know what, I'm just going to watch one more episode, that's all, just one more episode. And then over the course of that night, I said that at least 10 times, like, I'm just going to watch one more episode, I'm going to watch more. No, I take that back, I got to about, I wanted to say Ghostbusters, and then the sun was up, so I was like, I'm really tired. And I now have a very deep secret. It's like, this show is really, really good, and I'm really enjoying it. And then I met up with my buddy Seth a few days later.
God rest his soul.
He's whatever. He's still around. I talked to him.
As far as you know.
Oh, whatever. But
are you sure it's him?
Fairly certain.
It could be J4.
J4's not Native American.
I'm part Native American.
Yeah, like 1/60th.
Yeah.
Still part.
More than you.
I have no idea. I have no idea what I am. But, anyways.
White.
Whatever. But, basically, we started, we met up at a Buffalo Wild Wings one night, and we started talking about the show and everything. It was like, okay, like, I'm not going to jump to conclusions here. I'm not going to say it's great, but the animation is amazing. Yeah, it is. The songs are really awesome, too. Yeah, okay, I got to give you that. The characters are super cool, too. All right, fine, 3 out of 3. I love the episodes. Yeah, it's good. The show is awesome. I know!
Did we just become friends? We just became friends.
No, I mean, like...
Did we just become best friends? Yup.
And there was never a period where, like, either one of us was, like, super ashamed of it. Like, we never felt shame, but we knew this was going to be near impossible to explain to anybody. And I'll never forget it. One night, we had both gotten to episode 8, Look Before You Sleep, which honestly I will say, as it's a fun episode and I like it, but let's be real here, it is the girliest episode in the entire show. But we got to that point, and our buddy Brian, who got in on it too, was watching it with us. And we were out on my porch one night when my parents were having some party. We had the iPad out there, and we were watching it, and I believe it was at the part where Rarity makes Applejack dress up in that really girly frou-frou outfit, and who just so happens to be walking outside to check on us but my dad. And he sees
Dad, I swear it's porn.
That's the thing is, like, that's the funny thing about it is, like, he comes up and is like, hey guys, what you doing? Immediately slam the iPad shut. I was like, hey Dad, how's it going? He gives us that, like, you kids are hiding something look. But that's the funny thing, is that kind of stuff was easier to explain than, we're watching we're watching My Little Pony. But yeah, like, it just became a giant snowball effect, and well, here I am almost 4 years later.
Oh, I'm supposed to go now?
If you want to, go right ahead.
Well, we all know everyone's here for me anyway, so I might as well give them what they paid for. But I'm looking at the original air dates, and I did not realize this, but my anniversary was October 27th, 5:45. Only the first 2 episodes have been out. I did not remember that.
Oh my god.
So I've been here much longer than I thought.
So on what day specifically have you been on here?
Just about 12 days. Wait, hold on. Nope. 2 days away from Ticketmaster's original premiere of October 29th.
So you lied to me at Nightmare Nights.
I didn't lie to you.
You lied to me. I trusted you.
Good.
Day 14 then?
But
you're really gonna get specific.
We gotta get a number for this.
Oh god.
I told you it's October 27th.
On what day number? Like, I was here since day what? What?
Technically, I was here day 17 since it started.
Okay.
Alright, day 17.
Mark your calendars, everybody. That's the thing is, like, I personally can't remember. I don't even remember the specific date we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and talked about the show. Because there was a long period before that where, like, we kept saying is, like, basically what you said is, like, we acknowledge that it's a really good show, and we're going to keep watching it, but we're not entirely sure if we're going to call ourselves, bronies yet. We didn't really know for that until eventually.
I believe they like to be called bronies.
Bronies. But eventually it took us about like 2 weeks, so we both just said it to each other, like, screw it, we're bronies. It's a great...
Do you think that's what surfer bronies call each other, bronies?
Oh.
Like bra?
What's up, Bronny?
Oh, God. You guys going to BronyCon?
Sup.
But basically, I started around Ticketmaster truly coming out because my buddy Lumpy, this back when I used to use Facebook, it's pretty much just there for blah now.
Like that.
But he had his avatar as Fluttershy. I was like, Lumpy, what the hell's up with your avatar? And he sent me back a message like, it's the new My Little Pony show. I really enjoy it. I was like, huh. That's pretty gay, but okay. Mind you, when I was a kid back in kindergarten, I was the only guy playing with My Little Pony with all the girls. But I started watching the show, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can see why this is good. So continue watching. I didn't even... It took the longest time for me to consider myself an actual brony. I didn't consider it until about... late May 2011, because that's when I started the first meetup group in Texas.
Well, I mean, I don't really think... Nobody in my right mind comes to mind about, like, they see this and they immediately say, yes, I am a brony. Like, they walk out of the room thinking that. They usually walk out of the room with their computer tucked away in a dark secret.
Much like porn.
Control-H, delete.
But
and also children's card games.
We've already been over this, though. That stuff, porn is easier to explain. At least in the beginning, it's easier to explain than MLP.
Yeah. But,
watching porn? Yes.
Or playing children's card games.
Yeah.
You weren't watching My Little Pony Friendship is Magical Week? No, Dad, come on. Really?
Oh, black luster soldier. No one must ever know of our forbidden love.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like, I personally, I can't pinpoint, like, a specific day. So I personally have just made it, for me, the day I always celebrate my bronyversary is April 28th, 2012 is whenever because I decided to make that 1 week after A Camelot Wedding airs to be the day I celebrate. Because, like I said, I have no idea what the official day was, but that's what I choose to celebrate.
Yeah. Though I didn't really start getting to what some people call bronyism. Just being a brony until I sat down with Brunson and Dallas, my two former co-hosts, and we're like, you know what, let's do a podcast. What should we do it about? My Little Pony. Done.
Oh, dude.
Wow, I thought we were going to have a big hour-and-a-half argument about trying to convince you guys.
And the best part was the way the Rowdy Rough Brony name came about was we were all in Brunson's car. We're driving up to this park in Denton called Eureka Park, where we were going to play a game of zombie tag with a bunch of people.
I love it.
And we're just like, what should we call it? And that's what came to me. I was like, Lauren Faust's husband created Powerpuff Girls. And I was trying to think of things to kind of play off of what Lauren Faust and her husband had done, Craig McCracken. And Brunson was like, why not just call ourselves the Rowdy Rough Bronies after the Rowdy Rough Boys? And I was like, done.
That's beautiful.
But what does being a brony mean to you?
Wow, that's really hard, actually. Trixie started the last one. Why don't you start us off with this?
No, I think you should start us off, Clayton.
Why me?
Because you're squirming.
No, I'm just being put on the spot, which I suppose is the same thing. Wow. Well, again, there's really no way to say this without sounding really cheesy, but it means a lot to me. Like, it goes way beyond the show itself, and it is more than just a show that makes me laugh. Like, I will come straight out and say, all jokes aside, I do have a very, very deep emotional investment with both the show and the fandom. I love it with all of my heart.
Okay, I was wrong. What Trixie said was the second gayest thing.
Whatever. I'm trying to be serious here.
And we see how you fail at that all the time.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
But I have to agree with you that there's personally, I can't really explain what it means being a brony, just enjoying what you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, there's been a lot of bad apples in the bunch that have really dragged the brony name through the mud and all kinds of other horrible excrement. But the good ones are there, and we actually got interviewed at one of our meetups. Was it like a month or two ago?
That girl from TCU.
Yeah, we actually got interviewed, and I think the bronies there just really put it in light for this poor girl going into a cesspit of vile villainy.
What a brave, brave soul. But it was fun.
But to me, it's pretty much just enjoying what you want to enjoy and not caring what others think about it.
No, it's a great message for everyone. It's being who you truly are. It's something I'm very passionate about. I love it. I know you guys are the same way. But honestly, I thank God all the time for this fandom. Like these really have been the best 3.5 years of my life, and I love everyone in it to death.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. Like, without this show, I probably would have just stayed in my room all day.
Because I can tell you this much too. When I first met Trixie here, I believe I met you before I met Clayton.
Just at the meetup, right?
Yeah, this was before Clayton started coming, and that's when we were going to Sneaky Pete's all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I first meet Alon over here. Yes, I use his name. I have to put a quarter in the Alon jar.
Well,
damn, that's 2 now. But Trixie was just sitting there playing his Pikachu 3DS, playing Pokemon, and he did not talk to anyone except for this kid, Alec, at the meetup, who's now taken over the meetup group. And they're talking about Pokemon. And I had seen a lot of people come to these meetups, and they're very introverted. They did not like to talk that much. They were very shy. And over the course of coming to these meetups, they started coming out of their shells. A Turtles reference.
Tish.
But they started coming out of their shells and really starting to talk with others and see that there are other people out there that enjoy what they enjoy, and they have an outlet to express that enjoyment now.
Well, it's just amazing how something so simple like this can unite so many people under one banner like that for a variety of reasons. Like I know you and I have had this talk before, but like it has really, really helped me out with figuring out what I want to do with my life. Is like, as you guys know, I've been around music my entire life with my upbringing and everything. I've been playing guitar for about 10 years now, but only recently did I start getting, since I became a brony and saw what the fandom can do and the kind of the passion and inspiration that goes into it really touched me. So where it's like I could finally have the confidence to make stuff that came from me. Like I wasn't able to write a song or anything before then, and it's just like I said, I'm not doing this a whole lot of justice, probably because it means so much to me. But it has really skyrocketed my confidence as a musician as well as just overall a person, like how I feel about life, how I feel about my friends and everything. And I can never express my gratitude to that. Like I'm thankful to no end to the show and the fandom for what it has done to me. I love it with all of my heart.
And another thing to that as well is we get to meet all these other bronies and become friends with them. But I think the more amazing thing about it is that it's not the show that keeps us as friends. Like, the show brought us together, but the show is not keeping us together. Like, we learn to pretty much bond over many other things aside from the show.
Well, from my perspective, you two are perfect examples. I mean, I met you guys through MLP, but we talk about an ungodly amount of other things all the time.
Mostly Project Cross Zone 2.
Yes. That's you two.
Yes.
That's you two. That's the damn thing about that.
Well, you two have Psychonauts too.
We sure do, dude.
And then we all three have Phoenix Wright.
Yes. Well, see, My Little Pony got me into Phoenix Wright, so I'm a little late to that party, but man, am I glad I came on board. Because for those who haven't seen it, Turnabout Storm, which is My Little Pony Phoenix Wright crossover, I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite fan-made things in the entire fandom, and that pretty much encouraged me to go pick up the Phoenix Wright games. And now I've played Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations. I just recently finished Apollo Justice, and I can safely say it's one of my favorite game franchises ever.
Now he just has to play Ace Investigations and Dual Destiny.
Don't worry, I still got time before the other one comes out, so I'm good.
Do you really?
I think so, yeah.
We don't know.
But no, they're amazing games, and MLP has also gotten me into so many other things. I think it has definitely earned its nickname as the Gateway fandom because it's such an outlet for so many other things. Phoenix Wright being a great example.
Didn't it also get you into Doctor Who?
Yes, it did. It got me into Doctor. Granted, I'm still absurdly far behind on Doctor Who. I'm still on David Tennant episodes, so yeah. All the Whovians listening can get your gas out of the way of like, oh my god, you need to catch up. I know. But Doctor Who is really good. Phoenix Wright, Doctor Who. Honestly, The Walking Dead. I started watching the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead. I trailed off after that, but Pony's got me into that. And, I could go on and on about the list of that, but you get the idea. It's, like I said, people have nicknamed it the Gateway fandom because everything is ponyfied.
Yeah.
But,
I have to say, that was good chat.
Yeah, we actually had a serious moment.
Shut up, Clayton.
Yay, it wasn't me this time.
I feel good. But yeah, I guess to wrap that up and we can go back to story time and whatnot, I just want to give a personal thank you to everyone in the fandom. I love you guys to death. And you have, in these last 3.5 years, you have done so much for me. And that's why, that's honestly one of the reasons why, I want to become a name with weight in the fandom is so I can give back to the community that I love so much, that has already done so much for me. If I can pass that feeling on to others, I've done my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, very good opening to the season. Looking forward to reviewing Ticketmaster next week.
That'll be fun.
Wait a minute. So you guys don't want to get into Brony Fest stories and whatnot yet?
Oh. No, I figured we'd do that on the anniversary of Brony Fest and animation celebration.
Yeah, you had to take a breather for that one.
Yeah, no, we all had to put our armor on for that one.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
So did you explain what it meant to you?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
I explained that it's about doing what you want to do and not really caring what others think.
Right.
Liking yourself for who you are. Because, I've heard about a lot of these instances where people are, they're closet bronies. They're ashamed of it. If it's something you truly love and it's something you're truly passionate about, there is no reason anyone on this planet should be able to tell you that, yeah, you need to keep that behind closed doors. No, that's something to be proud of.
No one should care, really, about if you like a show or not.
And if they do, and they do give you flack for it, they don't deserve your time. They really don't.
I have to agree.
Which, isn't that kind of funny since we're on that subject? I don't know about you, J-Thor. There might have been something that we might have missed. But in the time that we've been here for, like I said, 3.5 years or so, I think I can only recall 1, maybe 2 instances where we have received face-to-face hatred for this stuff.
Oh, yeah, you're the one that dealt with that.
I've got one, and it was with this guy here.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about at Lone Star Comics?
That's it.
That's so fun. And
it was adorable.
To this day, I am kicking myself for not realizing how we should have responded. It's like, as soon as we walked out of there and as soon as the situation was dealt with, I remember looking at him like, no, dude, I know what we should have done. Damn it. It was so funny.
Go ahead, we might as well explain that.
Okay, but you're gonna have to help me out because like I said, it's been a while. But
right.
Basically, we went to this place in our area called Lone Star Comics, and we were looking in the My Little Pony section, looking at the comics. I think they had some little Funko figurines, and what was it, like 3 or 4, 12 or 13. They couldn't have been any older than 14.
Yeah.
They came. How exactly did that confrontation get started? Were we wearing pony shirts? Or
No,
did they just...
we were looking at the comic books for the ponies, and I think they were just like, "You guys like My Little Pony?"
Oh, it was the most baffling thing ever, and it was so fun. And they kept telling people who are at least 6 or 7 years older than them how they're wasting their lives and how just really poking the finger like rah, 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 rah. And just how this it's pathetic, how we're wasting our lives and everything. And to this day, I'm still kicking myself for how we should have responded. Because we talked about it, like, what we should have done, dude? We should have looked at them with serious faces and just go, "You're right," and just immediately start taking our pony stuff off, like taking off my wristband, my dog tag, everything. It would have been.
You're right.
Oh wow, we just got schooled by a bunch of little kids. Oh.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
It was absolutely adorable.
No, it was really, really funny, and that's the thing I guess we can be thankful for is that is really the only time we've ever been hassled like that. So
at least personally, in real life, if you will.
And that's why one of my concerns about it is I know there might be somebody listening to this podcast who has been less fortunate. To which, if that is the case, again, stand strong. There's no reason for you to let them get to you. We've said this stuff. I'm not very good with speeches, but
I do have to say we've been very fortunate with living in Texas,
which is
and not getting that much flack.
Well, Texas has become a bit of a brony hub, which again we can be thankful for. But yeah, it's difficult because I don't think any of us have had to really deal with that extensively.
Nope.
But
I think we mostly deal with confusion whenever we bring it up.
those are my favorite. Do you mind? We're probably dragging this episode on, but do you mind if I tell the story about my manager Chad real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in 2012, around the time I just started getting into the show, I worked at a Bennigan's. I was a busser, or as they like to call it, a server assistant. It's a busser. But basically, I'd come in every day with my uniform and everything. But I like, because I had this little collection of all these pins from the show. Like, they're all just, various characters' cutie marks. And to, just kind of like add a little flair to it, I would wear a pin every day to work of a different character. Some days I'd go in with Rainbow Dash's cutie mark. Other days I'd go in with Princess Cadence. Whoever I felt like, oh, well, there you go. I think on this particular day I was wearing Shining Armor. And yeah, I was. And my manager, Chad, finally takes notice of the pin. He stops me and goes, "Hey, Clayton, what's the pin you've got?" And it's like, "Huh? The one you always wear." And it's like, "Oh, it's from a TV show I like." "Well, which one?" "Chad, how much time do you got?" Because, I give him the build-up. I explained bronies to him. And Bennigan's was pretty dead that day, so, we just...
That day?
Yeah, okay, that restaurant. Yeah, we only...
Shenanigans is what it is.
I can still count on my fingers how many times we were actually, super busy in the months I worked there. But, we were just chatting about it, and I was explaining everything to him, how, I'm a big fan, and like I said, this was kind of my quote-unquote rookie year of being a brony, so I still, it's always like that whole star in your eye look of trying to explain this to someone, because even today, I honestly still get a pretty good joy out of it. But back then it was fun explaining this to my manager, who's just standing there scratching his head like, what the hell is this all about? So eventually he says, wow, that's really weird, but whatever, I've seen worse. Go about your shift. So I'm like, all right, thank you. So my shift goes on. I go home. I come back the next day, and he's talking to me. He's like, you know what? I've noticed ever since you talked to me about this My Little Pony thing, I've been noticing it a lot more. Well, what do you mean? Well, when I was driving home, I noticed some kids walking down the street with some shirt of it had a white pony with a blue mane and DJ glasses or something like that. I get this big grin on my face, I know exactly what you're talking about. And, all this stuff goes on. And he also talks about how I woke up this morning and my TV was tuned to the hub. What the hell is up with that? My first thought is, well, what exactly? What's your TV doing tuned to My Little Pony in the first place? which, made me laugh and everything. But I leave that shift, and the next day I had to come in on an afternoon shift. So, I didn't have a whole, I still had some time to kill. I figured I'd sleep in. Well, I get a call from Chad, and he says, Clayton, I need you to get up here right now. Like 2 hours before my shift even starts. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I was really worried that I screwed up in some way. I thought I was gonna that drive up there, I seriously thought I was gonna get fired. I was so scared. I was sweating bullets like, oh no, he's gonna be mad. I did something. I don't know what I did. And I get up there and I go into the Bennigan's, and once again, dead day, but I walk in. Chad is waiting for me, and as soon as he comes out, he looks at me and goes, "What the hell did you do? What do you mean?" Here I am, scared out of my mind from my shouting manager, and he says, "I can't take it anymore. You have drilled it in my head, and now in these last few days, it's all I see. I can't escape it. I went to 10 Star the other day for lunch, and I found something on the bulletin board. Do you know what this is?" And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a flyer for Brony Fest. And I see it like, he goes, "Do you know what the hell this is? Do you know what this is?" I see it, get the biggest smirk on my face and say, "Know about it? I've already booked my hotel room." Oh my goodness. And I love those kind of stories. Yeah, it's just one of those things I always look back on where it is so much fun to explain, because you're right. We always get confusion over hatred, and that's so much that's fun to deal with, because confusion for me, like explaining it, I don't think it's ever turned into hatred. It's just confusion a lot of times turns into fascination. And it's it's just one of those things that's fun to talk about. Thanks. But yeah, that was just a fun story I wanted to tell.
Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
But let's go ahead and start closing this out, because we are running at almost an hour and a half.
Lovely.
But is there anything you guys wanted to plug real quick?
Well, I guess a little thing. For the first time since season 4 started, I actually wrote a little femfic. So I guess, it's a Starlight Glimmer fic I threw together called Happiness is Closer Than You Think. Just something a little fun. I wanted to do one of those, I guess, what-if situations. So, go check that out on my femfic. I want to start getting into writing again, because that was a lot of fun. As far as, like, big stuff...
Be careful, there's a lot of clop in it.
That's not true.
It is, I read it.
No,
I read it twice.
That just means it was good. But no, in all seriousness, it's just a little one shot. But
it's only a little less dirty than 50 Shades of Grey.
Aww.
50 Shades of Hay.
But Tish. But yeah, just one of those things. I hope to be putting out some new songs. Well, I will be putting out some new songs once 2016 starts, so look forward to that. Check out my channel, check out my Twitter, yada yada yada. And that's pretty much it right now.
Wow. Okay, I guess I'll plug this, since I thought you were a big fan, Clayton, but I guess you're not. Psychonauts 2 is getting crowdfunded.
We were getting...
Nope, you're not allowed to talk anymore.
Like hell I am.
Your plug's over.
Can't believe he doesn't like Psychonauts that much, huh?
I know.
I fangirled so hard when he told me that, because Psychonauts is one of my favorite games ever. So when I heard there was a sequel, I was so happy.
But Psychonauts 2 was announced at the Game Awards, I think last week or the week before. It's one of those weeks. But it has 31 days left. It's 74% funded, but it's at $2,463,990 out of $3.3 million.
And how many days has it been around? Like how?
It has 31 days left.
Okay, so it's been about, what, a week and a half now?
Yeah.
Oh, God, this makes me so happy!
Just as a warning, because I have seen Double Fine do crowdfunding in the past. If you're a fan of Broken Age, you know about the fiasco going on with that. Go into this with a grain of salt. If you truly want Psychonauts, give them money, and they will get you the product, but we know that Double Fine isn't always the best with spending money how it's supposed to be.
Let me believe.
Just a warning with that. But if you truly believe in it, do fund it, because Psychonauts, absolutely amazing game. It's a shame it barely sold anything
It's a
when it first came out. Like here, let me tell you, within the 5-year span it was out from 2005 to 2010, it only sold 479,312 units.
That's a crime.
Wow.
And then when it was re-released in 2010, so now it sold 1,217,761 copies.
Wow.
So it's starting to pick up steam again, but it was truly a shame. It's an amazing game, hilarious as hell, and it's great to see it possibly coming back.
I know. Again, let me believe, please.
Well, now I can't let you believe.
He's so happy.
Oh my god, you remember how I reacted the first time J. Thor told me? Like, I was literally fanboy squeeing. I was so happy.
You know, J. Thor, when you told him that, he didn't even realize that there was a teaser. I had to show him the teaser.
No, he's not wrong. I made noises.
He's like, there's a teaser?
I immediately yanked my phone out of my pocket, looked it up, and after I was done, I made noises I didn't even know I could make.
He was in shock for like 10 minutes, at least.
Well, dude, yeah. Of course I am.
That's so funny.
Thank you. But yeah, we are an hour and a half into this. We should probably go ahead and wrap it up right now.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up. Trixie, did you want to plug anything?
No, just the stuff earlier, the Valen and Cartoon Horse program.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got to provide a link. Yeah, go check out the Valen. We love you. Check out his Tumblr, his Twitter. Follow Trixie here, Elon92 on Twitter. Follow me, Do the Daring Do on Twitter. Follow J. Thor here. It's Zelos, right?
Zelos61.
Yep. Follow us. Follow Stable Condition. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
And also be on the lookout for my own little solo thing that will be on the channel called JWhoof's Corner.
You didn't tell me about that. What is that?
I told you a little bit about it. I'm going to be commissioning my buddy Salient Sunbreeze to do what he calls his commission style a slapdash. It's dirt cheap and it's an absolutely adorable style. But it's basically where I will be interviewing friends, other fandom people maybe. I highly doubt they'd want to come on. But it'll be mostly friends, and it's more of a generalized topic kind of thing. Like, we'll talk about My Little Pony, other things, but it will be more PG-13 onward.
Right.
Like, with no kind of discussing visuals, anything like that, but it's where I and other people can just go on and cuss until we're blue in the face.
That'll work.
But yeah, so this has been JWhoof, and you two can, I guess you guys can say your names.
All right. I'm Dude.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Bye.
I'm Do the Daring Do.
And I'm Trixie.
And we are signing off. See you next time.
See you next week.
See you guys later for Ticketmaster.